Selling courses, making money online, and the proven business model. Many times I get comments like, Peng Joon, you're selling this $7 course, $50 course, $2,000 course. But what many people don't see is that selling courses, whether it's ebooks, whether it is membership sites, whether it's even live event tickets, is really just Mickey Mouse money in the grand scheme of things. What if I told you that there's a proven business model that many people do not understand? That there's a lot more to just selling courses that people do not see. Now, here is where I'm going to be revealing to you behind the scenes to a coaching call that I did for one of my students, where I explained to him that selling courses and even live event tickets was really just a tiny itsy bitsy picture to a much larger picture. I'm going to be showing you what the big proven model is when it comes to building real wealth. I'm not talking about making money online, but building true wealth. So think about this, okay? All of you, listen to this next 10 minutes real close, because this is what gives you insight on the big picture of why you do what it is that you do. Okay, so it begins with this. I want you to imagine that there's this framework. Whenever you put stuff up on social media and you make the Facebook post and a YouTube video, what you're really doing is you're doing content marketing to develop a social asset. Okay, that's number one. You're developing social asset through content marketing. Now, what is the purpose of developing a social asset? Is to develop human asset. What is human asset? That is when they're buying your books, your programs, your courses, your membership site. What are you doing? You're developing that human asset, other people, so that they become better off in life, make more money, have more time, happier, healthier, more productive, more effective, right? That is a human asset. Now, for most people, that's the business. It ends there, right? Content marketing, sell stuff. Content marketing, sell stuff. But that is extremely shallow. To build true wealth and to build true business, that is when you want to ascend them to the next thing. And the next thing is intellectual asset. Now, what is intellectual asset? It is your IP. It is the thing that is proprietary, that makes you unique, that locks people down in your ecosystem. Okay, so imagine this, okay? Apple, they come up with their ads and their marketing so that people buy their phone. But that is not what makes Apple Apple. Like today, even if Samsung came up with a phone that is 3 times better than Apple, I would still have to think really hard about migrating over to that new phone because I am locked in. I am locked in to iTunes. I am locked in into their infrastructure. And that is what makes Apple a multi-billion dollar company. It is infrastructure. It is that intellectual property. It's an intellectual asset. You take a look at ClickFunnels, which is on track to be passing over $1 billion valuation in a couple of months. What are they doing? They create content, they send people to their courses. One out of the courses is the books, Expert Secrets, .com secrets. But even then, that's just cash flow money. What are they doing? They're locking people down into ClickFunnels, which is a recurring, which is where the real money is, SaaS, software as a service, revenue that gives them 10 to 20x revenue. So to think bigger about real business and real wealth is to think about how can you lock people down into an intellectual property, which is selling the course is great, but that's not where real wealth is going to be. Real wealth is going to be when you build this intellectual property. It could be a network where you're now teaching people how to flip deals, and these deals, they come to you, but you're also using these deals that is coming to you to feed it to investors that's paying you money to be part of your investor circle. So now you have a group of investors who have money, but they don't know where to park their money. You have a group of people that train with you in your courses, in your live events, that have no money, but now have developed the skills on making money by understanding how to flip deals. And you're building this community, this infrastructure, this network, which is your intellectual asset, your intellectual capital, so that you're fueling the infrastructure and the business model even further. That is what keeps me awake at night. In my business, I'm not thinking about how to sell more courses. I'm not thinking about how to get more people on my mastermind, because that's not where the big money is. For me, to scale my business now and to add an additional zero to my bottom line, This is what keeps me awake. I'm always thinking about business model. That is how all of you will take your business to a whole new level. By the way, it doesn't end there. Where does it fuel to? The next one is structural capital. What is structural capital? In order to build your business, it is all about people and process. What is people and process? I'm talking about SOPs, our hiring process, our onboarding process for new people, our 4R documents, the roles, responsibility, results for the people that we hire, the Trello boards, for literally building every single thing in the company. There needs to be a process and SOP for that. That is how you are building a business, structural asset. And finally, with the structural asset, you then have a financial asset, which is when you play the biggest game of all, which is merger and acquisition. This is when you're utilizing the money that's made into acquiring other assets. This could be other companies, softwares, businesses, properties, so that with leverage, you'll be able to pump it back again into a social asset, right? Because social asset requires a big capital if you want to play at the level that, say, Gary Vee is playing. I was just in Dubai 2 days ago, and speaking at that same event is Gary Vee and Grant Cardone and Ty Lopez. And you know what, Gary, like literally, when I was backstage with Gary, no kidding, Gary has 4 people on him at any given time. One person with a real camera, one person shooting him landscape mode, one person shooting him portrait mode, and then one more person that's just, I don't know, 4 people on him the entire time. He's literally spending tens of millions of dollars every year on his personal brand, just pumping out content because he has this loop, because there's a return for that. So to play the game, I want you to start thinking and understanding, like, why are you doing this? Most people will play at the level of putting content, which is building that social capital, so that they can make money, developing human capital, right? Selling the product, ebook, program, home study course, and that's it. And they take the money out. Sometimes if they leverage a little bit, they'll pump it into some sort of financial asset if they're a smart investor, and then pump it back. And that's it. It is this circle of rinse and repeat. But to build true wealth, this is where I want all of you to start thinking about your business model. In fact, this is going to be like the focus of this mastermind that I'm doing here this weekend. But that's how you think about taking businesses to a whole new level, and understand that it's not about selling courses. Like sometimes, once in a while on a Facebook ad, I will get a hater comment saying, lol, you know, if you are really making that money, you wouldn't sell a product at $7.95, right? Because they're shallow. They think that money is made by selling a $7.95 course. Russell Brunson doesn't care about selling a $7.95 Expert Secrets book. The whole purpose of that book is to send people to build that intellectual asset, which is ClickFunnels, and that is valuation, right? So when you understand this entire circle of your business model, it gives you clarity on why it is so important to shoot that YouTube video, to put out a Facebook post, why you're selling that seminar or event or home study course. And even if you don't, this is how you start thinking about your big picture and why you're doing what it is that you're doing.